Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WCBN Sports coverage of Crisler Center for the first time this year. My name is Charlie Brigham. Alongside me, Abe Weiner. We're quickly experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll try to get going as soon as we can. Quick little internet outage, but and we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. A few internet issues here in Crisler Center, but we are back and ready to go. As I was saying, my name is Charlie Brigham, alongside me, Abe Weiner, and we have a good one for you tonight, folks. The reigning Big Ten champions coming to Crisler Center for the first time in the 2021-2022 season, and are going to look to get it done against the defending runner-ups of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, the UB Bulls. To give you the quick starting lineups. For the Buffalo Bulls, it's Ronaldo Segu, Maceo Jack, Jonathan Williams, Josh Mbala, and rounding out the starting five is Brock Bertram. For the Wolverines, starting at guard, number 12, Devontae Jones. Starting at guard, Caleb Houston. Next up, the Professor, Eli Brooks, back and ready to be a veteran presence in this Wolverine lineup. Starting at forward, number 23, Brandon Johns Jr., and rounding out the starting five, the big man in the middle, sitting at 7'1", 260 pounds from DeMatha High School. You know him, you love him. It's Hunter Dickinson. Abe, it should be a good one as both teams take the floor, and we're just about set for tip. In the circle, it's going to be Dickinson and Bertram, as the crowds here in Crisler Center are on their feet, ready for another season of Michigan basketball. Hunter Dickinson wins that tip with ease, and we're right into things. Brooks passing up, Dickinson up top, guarded by Bertram. Backdoor cut, Brandon John Jr. open layup up with the left hand, and he's fouled right away. Michigan doing a great job applying pressure early. One up with the left hand, up and under. Josh Mbala is going to get credit for the personal foul there.
Yeah, that's a big early foul on Josh Mbala, last year's MAC Defensive Player of the Year. It's good to see Brandon Johns being aggressive, attacking the basket early on the outstanding defender, Josh Mbala.
First free throw on the way from Brandon Johns is going to be up and good. Nothing but net. The Wolverines out to an early lead here in this one. Wolverines looking to go 2 for 2 on opening night victories. The Michigan women's team won last night. Final score of 67-62 against the IUPUI Jaguars. And just like that, the Wolverines are out to a 2-0 lead. Brandon Johns Jr. knocks down both of his from the charity stripe. Couple high handoffs from UB. Getting right into it. Cross. Eli Brooks hits the ground. Highlight play into the rack. Easy bucket for Jonathan Williams. The crossover left to right. Left Brooks on the floor.
Wow. I don't know if the court's slippery, but that was a fantastic crossover there from Jonathan Williams.
Tied up at 2, 19-20 left to play here in the first half. Dickinson working one-on-one up top against Brock. Driving hard, right hand, now kick out corner. Brooks back up top. Johns Jr. showed shot fake, now driving hard with the left hand, gets it stripped. Josh Mbala bouncing back after the personal foul early. Driving hard now to the basket, and looks like it's going to go off his foot. It's Jonathan Williams looking for his second basket. Caleb Houston using his long wingspan to get in there and poke that ball free.
Yeah, that's going to be Caleb Houston, 6'8", long wingspan. It's going to be important for him to disrupt on the defensive end tonight.
Devontae Jones gets a high ball screen from Hunter Dickinson. Tried to get fancy, got all the way to the rack, but he was blocked by Ronaldo Segu.
Yeah, Segu with a little shove after the play, too. He's taking this assignment seriously tonight. Devontae Jones, Sun Belt Player of the Year. He's looking to make his impact for the Wolverines tonight.
It'll be Jones to inbound. Gets it into Brandon Johns Jr. Now he'll dish to the outside. Eli Brooks looking for something. Pass up top. Jones. High ball screen coming. Pass. Nice feed to Hunter Dickinson. Floater with the left hand, and that one's good. The Wolverines up 4-2.
The trademark left hook from Hunter Dickinson. It's going to be a common sight this season for the Wolverines.
Dickinson just doing what he does best, using his height to his advantage, and Devontae Jones has a steal. Coast to coast. Nobody in his way. Up with the right hand, and that's an easy bucket. 4-point lead for Michigan. That's something we saw back in that exhibition game. Devontae Jones using his active hands to get going on the defensive end early. Michigan doubles up top. Now pass, open three, coming off the hands of number 33, Maceo Jack, who nails it. Bulls cut it to just one. 6-5 is the score. 18 minutes left to play here in half number one. Jones dribbling the ball up with his right hand. Now gets a ball screen from Dickinson. He'll crash hard. Looks for Dickinson on the feed, but it's kicked away.
Yeah, Michigan's going to have to pay attention to Maceo Jack on the defensive end. Shot 40% from three last year. A real outside threat for the Bulls.
It'll be Jones to inbound, quick directing traffic, trying to get his Wolverines set. Couple back cuts now inside. Caleb Houston showed shot fake, back to the middle, up with the right hand, easy bucket. Wolverines back up 3, 8-5, 7:30 to play. 17:30 rather. Pass to the wing, looking inside. Now we'll dribble back to his right hand is Williams. Back over to Segu, trying to get something going. Pass to the corner to Mbala. Now he's driving middle hard. Johns Jr. on the defense. Kick out, three ball, no good. Jack was looking for his second of the night. Double ball screen coming. Devontae Jones trying to make something happen. Lost the ball quickly. Kicks out to Caleb Houston. Houston back Jones. Inside for Dickinson. And he'll go to work. Couple power dribbles with the left hand to the middle. Lefty floater off the back iron. No good. And Devontae Jones with another steal. Fighting through contact. He's not going to get the whistle. The crowds here in Crisler unhappy with the no call.
Yeah, it's the second steal of the night for Jones, who was fourth nationally in steals per game last year with 2.8.
Hard drive all the way to the hoop and tough bucket there from Segu. The Bulls cut it to just 1, 8-7, and Eli Brooks has an open layup. Fake handoff, and the Bulls were left fooled. The Professor extends the lead back up to 3, 10-7 in favor of the Wolverines. It'll be Mbala to come set a high screen. Segu pull up three, off balance, hits nothing but backboard, but the Bulls able to pull it down. Showed shot fake on another one, now all the way to the basket. Floater, that one wide air ball. And that one's going to go off the left foot of Mbala and out of bounds. It'll be Michigan ball going the other way.
Yeah, it was a good little Buffalo, little hedge there by Brandon Johns. Didn't fully contest the shot, but forced the air ball. It's a tough floater. Those are the kind of shots you want your opponent to take, those low percentage mid-range floaters.
16 minutes left to play here in half number one. Jones driving baseline. Oop up to Dickinson, and he almost threw it down but rattled it home. Almost had a highlight play. The Bulls wasting no time, going out in transition. Nice little Euro step into the lefty floater. That one good for number 11, Jonathan Williams.
Yeah, an early 2 assists for Devontae Jones there with a fantastic lob to Hunter Dickinson. But Buffalo's staying tough. They're able to score here on the Wolverines early.
15:40 left in half number one. Pass inside for Brandon Johns Jr. Goes back to the right hand and left it short. Jack pulls it down, now kicks to the outside. Williams working one-on-one against Eli Brooks, driving to his left hand. Tries to go back, crossing baseline. Kick to the corner, three ball for Maceo Jack. Right there, airballed. Caleb Houston on the defense. Nice pass up. Houston, he's fouled and one! Went up with two hands for the dunk. The contact couldn't let him yam it down, but still had the ball right over the hoop. And a big and one take. UB calls timeout.
Yeah, the lanky Houston there showing off his strength with the dunk and the little stare down afterwards. It's a confidence you want to see from the freshman.
The Wolverines now have had two tough buckets that, had the players been able to actually dunk it, would have been highlight plays, would have ended up on the Sports Center top 10. The errant alley-oop from Hunter Dickinson that rattled its way home, and now that one with Caleb Houston.
Yeah, Caleb Houston already 4 points with the potential for 5 here at the line. He's going to be an important part of the offense. The freshman from Ontario, he was number 6 in the ESPN 100, the highest recruit Michigan has gotten in years. The Gatorade Florida Player of the Year in high school out of Montfort Academy. Breeds NBA talent. So it's good early signs from the freshman. Not letting the big lights of the Crisler Arena get to him early here.
We mentioned that Michigan, coming into this season, is reigning Big Ten champions. We saw the ring ceremony and the banner ceremony before the game. But looking at UB, they had quite the season themselves last year. 16-9 overall, 12-5 in conference, coming in second place. Last year, finished in second, made it their way all the way to the MAC tournament title game. Also last year was the team's second ever trip to the NIT. Unfortunately, got bounced in the first round by Colorado State, but those two long finishes in their tournaments, great signs to see, especially with newer coach Jim Whitesell. Whitesell now just entering his third season as the head coach of the Bulls, and man, does he have a team built around him. Looking down at two of the star players, Josh Mbala, elected to the preseason first-team All-MAC team. He's a senior. Last year was second-team All-MAC and was the Defensive Player of the Year at 15.3 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, averaging a double-double. Alongside him, Jonathan Williams, also preseason first-team All-MAC. Williams last year again, alongside his teammate, second-team All-MAC, was the leading scorer for the Bulls with 17.6 points per game, and also chuck in just under 7 rebounds and 2.5 assists for good measure.
Yeah, this is a veteran team. All 5 starters are seniors or graduate seniors. They have experience. They had a deep conference tournament run last year. They're hoping to build off that success into this year.
The fans still filing into Crisler Center as a couple of videos play up on the big board of the Michigan players saying, "Welcome back to the fans," back in Crisler Center after the extent of COVID left the stadium pretty much fanless, aside from a few family members and friends. But it's good to see the stadium filling back out. The Maize Rage wearing their iconic maize. Maize Rage got some props from the announcer before the game. Got to help raise the banner that went up for the Big Ten Championship last season. As the media timeout wraps up, it'll be Caleb Houston to go to the line and shoot the and one. Substitution for the Michigan Wolverines. We'll see Musa Diabate for the first time today. He will check in for Brandon Johns Jr. The free throw from Houston to convert the and one, and Michigan up 6, 15-9 with 15 minutes left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, Musa, the substitute, another highly touted freshman. He's also going to bring length, try to disrupt stuff on the defensive end.
Kick out, Maceo Jack, 3-ball from the corner, no good. Nice box out from Eli Brooks to pull in the rebound. Pushing up, Devontae Jones in transition. Caleb Houston with the ball in the corner. Pass inside, looking for Musa, out back. Houston with a wide open 3, and nothing but the rim. Michigan converting again, and they're extending the lead to 9 now.
Yeah, it's the freshman to freshman connection. We're going to see that a lot. Musa attracting 2 defenders in the post with his post capabilities, passing it out to the wide open Houston, who bangs the 3-pointer.
Have our first substitution of the day for the Bulls. Brock Bertram will check out, and David Skogman will check in for him. We had a personal foul called on Devontae Jones. Got called for a ticky-tack foul on the sideline. Pass up top, that one to Skogman. Now handoff. Segu trying to work his way inside. Pass outside for Williams, driving to his right hand on Eli Brooks. Floater, no good. And Caleb Houston's going to pull down the rebound. 18-9 is the score. Michigan looking to tack a few extras on here. Dickinson fighting for positioning inside. Kicked outside, Eli Brooks. Now up top, Musa with the ball. Fake to his right, driving left, spin back to the right. And he's blocked, but he's fouled. It's going to be a call on Mbala.
Yeah, it's great confidence from Musa attacking the reigning MAC Defensive Player of the Year. Makes him pick up his second foul. That's big early in this game. He's going to need to get subbed out.
Diabate now to shoot 2.
Yeah, Musa, lanky, 6'11", 210 out of Paris, France, coming from IMG Academy in Florida, as he misses the first free throw there. Yeah, I can't emphasize enough the tandem of him and Caleb Houston is going to be integral to Michigan's hopes this year to repeat as Big Ten champions.
Diabate missing the first one. Converts the second of the 2 shots. Michigan up by 10, 19-9. A few substitutions for the Bulls. Keyshawn Bruton will check in. Ball screen coming up. Segu working on Dickinson. Kick to the corner. Open three and airball. The Bulls just can't seem to hit anything. Pass all the way up is going to go out of bounds. There's a long cross-court pass coming from Jones, looking for Diabate down low.
Yeah, second turnover of the night for Michigan. It's just a poor decision from Jones. You just want him to take it, be the calm presence in transition that he is, not force any passes like that.
We mentioned the Bulls not shooting well right now, one of their last 7. Meanwhile, Michigan on a 7-0 run. Another air ball three. Caleb Houston pulls down the rebound. 13 minutes left to play here in half number 1. Michigan up 19-9. Going to have a foul called. Looks like this one's going to go on Diabate. It's going to be a moving screen. Caleb Houston came off a little bit too soon. That'll be his first personal foul. Team second in the half.
Yeah, we've seen Houston with a couple of air balls. We're going to see that a lot this year with the length of Michigan. They're just out there to disrupt shots.
Jonathan Williams driving all the way to the basket. Tried to go for the athletic finish, but left it short. Caleb Houston pulling down the rebound. Looking inside. Diabate, nobody there! And slam it home! Musa getting the crowd pumped up here in Crisler Center.
Yeah, the Maize Rage bringing out the French flag. Reminds me of when we used to have the Canadian flag for Stauskas. Another freshman to freshman connection there. This time the reverse. We got Houston assisting Diabate for the flush. It was a great job by Caleb Houston to look one way, pass the other way, finding the wide open Musa for the dunk. Michigan leads 21-9 going into this timeout.
Michigan putting together a run right now. 13-2 run over the last 3.5 minutes. And the Wolverines getting it done. That last slam from Musa got the crowd amped up here. People still filing in. And Crisler Center just continues to fill up more and more. Looking at the stats so far for the Wolverines, leading the way is freshman phenom Caleb Houston. 8 points for a team high, as well as a team-high 4 rebounds. And the side of the University of Buffalo Bulls, Jonathan Williams leading the way with 4 points. He's really the only bright spot in this offense right now.
Yeah, we'll see how Buffalo reacts to their leader, Josh Mbala, being on the bench with 2 fouls here.
Getting all the way to the hoop is Segu. Nice scoop finish. We have a quick whistle, and we're going to try and see what this is. Looks like it might be a delay of game warning on Segu. Touched the ball after it went through the bottom of the net. Terrence Williams, the second, checks in for the Wolverines. First time we've seen him today. He'll give Hunter Dickinson a break. Hand off, Devontae Jones trying to get into the basket. Nice feed inside for Diabate. Kick to the corner. Eli Brooks for 3, and that one's good. Michigan continuing to tack it on here in Crisler.
Yeah, that's all Musa. He looked out to Terrence. Terrence was covered. Pump fake. Back out to Eli, the wide open man, for the 3-pointer.
You got a quick whistle. Looks like that one's going to go on Jones. An off-ball foul. That one's going to be Jones' second, so he'll head to the bench. Checking in, number 0, Adrian Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez, the senior, 3-point shooter. Hopefully he'll be able to play a little bit on the ball here.
Segu working one-on-one against Caleb Houston. Nice hesitation. Now step back. Kicks up top for Jonathan Williams. Nice pump fake, driving all the way to the basket. Easy left-hand finish.
Great job by Jonathan Williams, just navigating the lane there, not getting too overwhelmed with the Michigan bodies in the paint.
The Michigan lead cut to 11 now, 24-13. Brooks will get a high ball screen. Kick back for Nunez. Feed inside for Diabate. Jabs right. Pull-up jumper. That one's going to roll and touch about every part of the rim before making its way out. Still 24-13 here in Ann Arbor. Segu driving all the way to the basket. Nice feed inside, up with the right hand, and that one's good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Michigan handles Devontae Jones being out of the game. It looks like Eli Brooks is going to take the point, but we'll see who takes on the main playmaking abilities while their point guard's out.
Trayvon Fagan, the graduate student, with that last bucket. 24-15, 11:30 left to play here in the first half. Kick back for Terrence Williams the second, driving hard with the left hand baseline. Kick outside Nunez, 3 ball. That one's tipped, and he's going to shoot 3. Foul is going to be called on number 4, Keyshawn Bruton, the redshirt senior.
Yeah. Bruton just pleading his case there, saying he got ball, but the referee read on the spot. It's going to be 3 free throws for Nunez. I like his confidence, not hesitating, taking the shot initially, and gets himself rewarded with 3 free throws.
We head into the media timeout. Do want to just put in a quick word about Adrian Nunez. You mentioned he's a senior, 3-point shooter. He's definitely put his time in for this Michigan team. Has seen very limited minutes in his first 3 years of play, but kept his nose to the grindstone and has definitely earned his playing time. Was the first substitution off the bench in that exhibition game against Wayne State. This one, the media timeout still going on. We look to both teams, and for Michigan, they're up 9, 24-15. What do you think, Abe, is the real keys for this Michigan team for the last 11 and a half minutes of this first half?
Yeah, I think the keys for the last 11 minutes are going to be on the playmaking end. Devontae Jones, 2 early fouls. He's not only an offensive leader for the Wolverines, but a defensive leader. Like I said earlier, he was 4th in the nation in steals per game with 2.8. Already has 2 tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see how Michigan handles not having a traditional point guard in the game. It's going to be a lot more ball movement. And Michigan just needs to survive those 2 early fouls from Devontae Jones, and I think if they can get through that, I think they'll be fine for the rest of the game.
Looking back at that exhibition game against Wayne State, Devontae Jones made himself known as a fan favorite early. Got close to double-digit steals in that game, just making his pressure known on the ball.
Yeah, he brings a little bit of a different skill set from the graduate transfer point guard that Michigan had last year, Mike Smith. Devontae Jones a little bit more defensively savvy and has a little more of a keen eye for scoring. Mike Smith, great playmaker, but had his woes defensively. So Devontae Jones will be able to pick up a little bit more of the slack against opposing scoring point guards.
Caleb Houston still leading the way for the Michigan Wolverines. 8 points, 4 rebounds, filling out the stat sheet. In terms of the UB Bulls, Janethan Williams has added 2 more points to his repertoire for a total of 6 and a team high. Coming out of the timeout on the floor for the Michigan Wolverines, it's going to be Diabate, Nunez, Terrence Williams II, Caleb Houston, and Eli Brooks. The Bulls yet to break their huddle. Adrian Nunez will shoot 3 free throws to start it off. If you missed it right before the media timeout, Nunez had an open 3, and Keyshawn Bruton came across his right hand and caught him on the arm.
Yeah, the difference early in this game is just the shooting. Wolverines shooting 64% from the field. Buffalo struggling, especially from deep, only 14% so far with a couple of air balls. So Buffalo's going to need to pick up the slack offensively if they want to get back in this game.
First free throw is going to go bounce up off the back iron, hit the front of the rim, and somehow find its way in. So there's first point of the night for Adrian Nunez, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. The lead now extended to 10. Nunez, second and 3 is good. Caleb Houston and Terrence Williams II share a quick word. They're both on the blocks for the Wolverines. Nunez looking to make it 3 for 3 from the charity stripe here. And that one no good. So 67% from the line for Nunez. And Michigan's got an 11-point lead. Brooks will pick up the point guard. Janethan Williams driving hard against Caleb Houston, and he's going to get all the way to the rack and fouled. Nice job going to his left hand, crossed back to his right in the middle, and then searching contact.
Yeah, it's the second fantastic crossover we've seen from Janethan Williams tonight. First one against Eli Brooks, dropped him to the floor. This one, Houston defended a little bit better, but still half step late defensively, caught him on the arm. 2 free throws for Williams.
The lefty Williams hits his first. Lead cut now down to just 10. We mentioned before the game, Janethan Williams, leading scorer for this Bulls team last year, over 17.5 points per game. Was elected to the preseason first team All-MAC as he hits the second. 26-17 is the score here in Ann Arbor. 11-11 left to play in the first half. Couple dribble handoffs early. Pass now to Diabate up top. Another handoff, Caleb Houston. Feed inside, Diabate up with 2 and slam it down.
Yeah, second assist from Houston to Diabate, ending in a dunk. Just a great roll by Moose off the ball. Gets himself rewarded with the dunk.
Nunez applying good ball pressure there. 15 seconds left in the shot clock. Segu kicks opposite side. Open 3 from Bruton. That one's no good. Terrence Williams, the second, pulls down the rebound. Brooks pushing in transition now. Elects to slow it up. Driving middle, kick back. Terrence Williams, the second, showed shot. Now driving, spin all the way to the basket, up with the right hand, and good.
That's a fantastic move from Terrence Williams. The initial 3 wasn't good. Put his head down, dribbled to the basket, gets himself rewarded with a layup.
30-17, the Wolverines busting it open here. Segu split the double team there, was fouled. And that one's going to go against Eli Brooks. Couple substitutions coming in. The senior Josh Mbala will check in for the Bulls, and checking in for the Michigan Wolverines for the first time today is number 10, Frankie Collins.
Yeah, first time today and first time for his career. Frankie Collins, a freshman from Nevada.
Collins will check in and give Eli Brooks a quick break. He'll guard the ball. Segu up top. Pass inside Mbale. Now at another off-ball foul. This one, a ticky-tack one in the back. It looks like it's going to be called on Caleb Houston. That's his second, so he'll check out. Brandon Johns Jr. will check in. First time we've seen him today after he came out of the game for the first time after being in the starting lineup. Bruton comes across a double screen, now kicks out Segu. Jonathan Williams, wide open 3, hit nothing but backboard and rattles around. Diabate finally pulls it in.
Yeah, Michigan with 4 subs on the court right now. Frankie Collins, a freshman, looks like he's going to be leading the offense for this 5 on the court for this run.
Collins passes, gets it back. Now he'll get a ball screen from Diabate. Driving. Nunez, corner 3, too short. Williams will pull it in. Now pressing up in transition to Segu. Hesitation, step back jumper from the short corner, and he's fouled. Brandon Johns Jr. caught him on the arm, what looked like after the shot, but they'll send him to the line, so Segu will shoot 2. With that one, Michigan's 7th team foul of the half. The Bulls now in the bonus.
Yeah, it's going to be important for Michigan to be able to defend without fouling. A lot of fouls that they've had early on have been off the ball, not necessarily shooting fouls. Those are going to turn into free throws. And I'm looking for Michigan to attack Josh Mbala on the offensive end, make him try to pick up the 3rd foul. 9 minutes is a long way to go without fouling if you're a big man.
Both free throws from Segu find the bottom of the net, so the score now 30-20. 9:30 left to play here. Correction, 30-19. So the Wolverines with an 11-point lead. Brandon Johns Jr. working up top. Ball swung all the way around. Collins now driving baseline, looking for something. Pass out. Terrence Williams the second, driving in. Pull-up jumper, no good. Battered around a little bit, and Diabate pulls it down. He's double-teamed, and it's going to be a foul on Segu. Caught him on the arm. Quick substitution. Brock Bertman will check back in. Bertram, and checking in for the first time is Curtis Jones as well.
Yeah, Michigan's gone a while here without Hunter Dickinson, who usually does get his break early in the first half, but a little bit more extended of an absence than we're used to.
Williams the second, catches the inbounds pass. Now let's swing it over. Frankie Collins gets a ball screen. Some contact, pass inside. Diabate, Nunez, open 3, and that one's good. Adrian Nunez with 5 points here in Ann Arbor.
I love Nunez's confidence. He's gotten the ball 3 times on 3 open 3s. No hesitation each time.
Driving all the way and battered away. Absolutely swatted there, the block by Diabate. The Bulls get it back. Fighting inside now is Bertram. Kick outside. This one a 3-ball, no good. It's going to go off the right hand of Terrence Williams. Bruton shot that one and then awkwardly hit the ground as he shares some words with Adrian Nunez. We're going to have a double technical called. One on Adrian Nunez, one on Bruton.
Yeah, this game being officiated pretty tightly right now. Seeing 12 fouls called in 12 minutes, plus the 2 techs. These teams are going to have to be careful to stay out of foul trouble tonight.
Segou will check back in for Bruton after he received the technical foul. Double technical results in nobody shooting shots. It'll just be Bulls ball underneath. Jones to inbound. Nunez guarding the ball. Pass up top. It's Segou working one-on-one against Frankie Collins. Now he swings. Mbala getting all the way to the rack, fighting through contact. Tipped around. Gets his own rebound, and Brandon Johns Jr. takes it away, but he's got it stolen. Now Mbala gives it right back. Sloppy ball handling from both teams. Pass up from Frankie Collins to Diabate. There's going to be a block called down low. Diabate went up to get it, and Jones was right in his landing space.
Yeah, Michigan now in the bonus. Both teams in the bonus. I'm looking to see some aggressive play from both teams. Drive to the rack. Get some easy, cheap fouls that this refereeing crew is looking like they're going to call tonight, and use that to their advantage. Shoot some free throws.
Moussa Diabate to shoot a 1-and-1 here as Michigan is in the bonus. It's Nunez and Brandon Johns Jr. inside. First of the 1-and-1 up and no good. It's going to be Mbala to pull it down, so Dickinson will stay on the sidelines. At the check-in table, he will come in for Diabate next time play stops. Pass to Jack. Now Jack looking inside for Mbala. Mbala fighting one-on-one against Diabate. Swatted away. Frankie Collins pulls it in, now looking to push in transition. All the way to the basket, up with the left hand, and he's blocked. Nunez pulls it in, kick outside for Williams the second. He'll give it back to Nunez, kicks to the corner. Brandon Johns Jr. showed shot. One dribble, pull up, and that one's good. 35-19 in Crisler Center.
Yeah, on the defensive end, Moussa giving Josh Mbala a little bit of a taste of his own medicine there with the block, his second block in the night, and then Brandon Johns showing his offensive capabilities there with the 2.
The Bulls 0 for their last 7, no field goals in the last 4 minutes. Wide open 3 is left short, and that one's going to go out of bounds, coming off the right hand of Mbala. Don't really know what the problem is for the Buffalo Bulls right now. I don't know if it's a depth perception thing or what it is, but they're currently 1 for 12 for 8.3% from beyond the arc, and most of those have been pretty bad misses.
Yeah, a couple air balls we've seen, a couple off the side of the glass. I think it's a combination of playing a big team, number 6 team in the country in Michigan, but also just Michigan's length. I mean, you got people like Diabate and Caleb Houston. When they're coming at you, they are deceptively long. So those long wingspans are gonna not only block shots, but are gonna contest shots that you think are not possibly contested.
The Bulls shot 34% from beyond the arc last year. Would definitely love 34% from beyond the arc right now. As I said, 1 for 12 for 8.3%. The Wolverines shooting at a much higher clip. 3 attempts out of 4 have found the bottom of the net for 75%. And Buffalo just not shooting well at all. In terms of overall field goals, 7 for 24 for 29.2% from the field, while Michigan sitting at a cool 62%.
Yeah, if I'm Buffalo, clearly the outside shot isn't working. If they're open, keep taking them. You got to still have that threat, but I would like to see Buffalo drive a little more to the paint. You have Michigan in some foul trouble. Devontae Jones in some foul trouble. The team as a whole, 7 fouls. You're in the bonus. So any foul you get driving to the basket is going to get you at least a chance at the charity stripe. So I think that should be the main goal for Buffalo as we approach the 7-minute mark of the first half.
7:23 left to play here in the first half. Michigan just 2 fouls away from putting UB in the double bonus. The Bulls have 3 to give before the Wolverines shoot 2. As we mentioned a few times before, their starting point guard, Devontae Jones, out of the game currently with 2 fouls. Made an impact early on the ball defensively, and just his court vision overall was incredible early in this game. The foul sent him to the bench, but point guard by committee has really worked here. Adrian Nunez has 5 points. Terrence Williams, the second, has run the point a little bit. It's just kind of bounced all around. The Wolverines showing that, they're not as one-dimensional as they have been in the past.
Yeah, some early run for freshman Frankie Collins, too. It's good to see him get adjusted to the game, get some early minutes in what's going to be an important season for the freshman.
As the timeout horn sounds, it'll be Johns Jr. to inbound. He'll bounce it into Frankie Collins. And we're set to go. Collins will get a ball screen. Now gets a second from Dickinson. Crosses back over to his left into Williams the second. Johns Jr. driving hard, and he's fouled. The Bulls left him. They had a double team, and then both players left. Brandon Johns Jr. had an open layup, but got knocked down pretty hard. He'll shoot two. 35-19 is the score.
Yeah, John's 2 for 2 on the night. I'm happy to see that his aggressiveness has gotten him some early free throws here.
That one rattles in and out. The foul went against Brock Bertram, his first of the night. Johns Jr. looking to make it 1 for 2, and he does. The score will go 36-19 in favor of the Wolverines. Collins guarding Segu coming up the floor. Little dribble handoff. Now a ball screen coming. Collins fights through it. Pass over to Mbala on the right wing, working against Johns Jr. Lost the dribble, gets it back. Pass outside, and it's going to be a 3-second call. You could hear the fans here in Crisler Center start screaming 3.
Michigan just absolutely hounding the Bulls on the defensive end, forcing a 3-second violation there. Buffalo 0 for their last 8 from the field, just taking their players out of a rhythm here early.
Seems to be a lid on the bucket on the other end for the University of Buffalo Bulls. Collins has an open look, kicks outside. Brandon Johns Jr. for 3, no good. Williams the second pulls it down. Kick corner, Nunez showed his shot, dribbling back to his left. Pass up top, Frankie Collins. He'll get a ball screen now. Step back, kick back pass. Williams the second for 3, and 1! Banks it off the glass, and a chance for a 4-point play.
Yeah, good little pick and pop there from Terrence Williams and Frankie Collins. Frankie giving them the dish with the over-the-head pass. And Terrence Williams rewarding him with the assist with the bank 3.
Williams, the second, converts the 4-point play, and the lead has gotten even more substantial for the Wolverines. A 21-point lead with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to play here. Segu driving middle, takes a tough pull-up jumper. No good. Collins is going to pull down the rebound.
And a lot of one-on-one action from the Bulls right now. It's not what you want to see when you're 0 for your last 9.
Collins was looking inside. We're going to have a jump ball call. The possession arrow going to go in favor of the Bulls. Eli Brooks will check in for the first time in a long while. He'll send Adrian Nunez to the bench. Nunez gets a few cheers from the crowd as he heads to the bench to grab a quick sip of water. He'll go in, 5 points and a rebound.
It's encouraging for Juwan Howard to see that his bench players like Nunez, Frankie Collins, Terrence Williams are able to carry the offensive load for a team that struggled with some early foul trouble with Devontae Jones. So that's going to be important for Michigan throughout the rest of the season.
Pass up to Jack. Now he'll kick over to Williams. Williams with a nice flare screen, passing over to Jack. He'll get it back now. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Williams driving hard to his left hand. Floater, and that one finally goes in.
Yeah, ends the 3-minute and 40-second scoring drought for Buffalo. Much needed bucket right there for the Bulls.
Michigan's lead cut to less than 20 now. It's 40-21. Dickinson working inside, spins, and 1! Slam it home! The big man Dickinson gets the crowd riled up here in Ann Arbor.
Just a quick spin move to the baseline from Hunter with that left hand. Just too easy for the big man, Hunter Dickinson, and one.
Foul goes against Brock Bertram, his second of the night. He'll head to the bench. Redshirt sophomore David Skogman will check in for him. Dickinson can't convert the and one. 42-21 is the score here in Crisler Center. 5:12 left to play in the first half. Couple dribble handoffs. Jonathan Williams rips to his right hand. Kick to the corner. Jack. 3-ball, no good. Collins with the rebound. Dribbles to his left hand as Eli Brooks just falls down off the ball. Awkward floater from Hunter Dickinson. He's going to go wide left. The Bulls with a good opportunity to score here. Driving all the way to the basket. Fighting through contact and one.
Yeah, Terrence Williams just getting caught between the ball and the cutting Josh Mbala. Put in an awkward position and ends up taking the block there.
42-23 the score. Michigan way out in front. 4:50 left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, I like Buffalo trying to get out into transition. The half-court offense has been pretty stagnant so far, but getting in transition, getting a 2-on-1 just like they did there, gets them to the easy bucket and one.
Converts the and one, 42-24. Bounce pass inside Dickinson. Lost his dribble for a second, now gets it back. Turnaround, lefty floater, and that one's good.
The signature lefty hook from Hunter Dickinson. It's too easy, can't give him that much space on the left baseline.
The lead back up to 20 for Juwan Howard and the Michigan Wolverines, driving all the way to the basket. He's fouled. It's going to be Segu. Caught him on the arm. Let's see if they say he was shooting. They will say he was going into a shooting motion, so he'll head to the line. A couple substitutions. Head to the check-in table.
Yeah, both teams in the double bonus now for the last 4:19 of the half. It's a great job from Segu, just driving, getting the contact from Frankie Collins there.
Segu's first free throw, no good, so the lead will stay at 20. Trayvon Fagan will check in for the Bulls. Checking in for the first time today, freshman guard number 2, Kobe Buffkin for the Michigan Wolverines. He'll send Frankie Collins to the bench.
Kobe Buffkin, the 6'4" freshman out of home state, Michigan, from Grand Rapids, hoping to make an early impact here in his first official run with the Wolverines.
Second free throw finds the bottom of the net. The lead now for Michigan, 44-25. Nice bounce pass from Eli Brooks and another floater in the middle for Hunter Dickinson. The big man showing off his touch in the middle. 46-25. Segu working one-on-one against Eli Brooks, and Brandon Johns Jr. gets a steal. Loose ball. Buffkin gets it, and the referee said he rolled out of bounds. Unfortunate break for the Wolverines as we head into immediate timeout. 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. Michigan up with a comfortable lead, 46-25.
Yeah, the theme of this first half for the Wolverines has been depth. 11 players in so far, and many of those freshmen just getting some valuable regular season experience. You want to get as much of that as possible before the grueling gauntlet that is the Big Ten Conference.
Looking at Michigan's schedule coming up, after tonight, 3 days from now, they've got Prairie View A&M on November 13th, and 3 days later after that, they play Seton Hall. After that, they've got UNLV. Then after that, it's either Arizona or Wichita State. And then not until December 7th do they open up Big Ten play at Nebraska at 6 p.m. After that, it'll be Minnesota. That's the first home game of the Big Ten regular season. Looking at that schedule, the first few big games that stand out, January 8th at home against rival Michigan State, and then January 14th against Illinois.
Yeah, the Big Ten's going to be a tough one this year. 2 teams inside the top 10, that's Michigan and Purdue. You got Illinois slotting in there at 11. Ohio State eking out a 1-point win last night against Akron at 17. Maryland at 21. And you have Michigan State receiving some votes on the outside. Rutgers receiving some votes on the outside. So, as always, going to be a competitive Big Ten season. With the fans back, road games are going to be tougher than they were last year. So it's going to be important for Michigan to defend their home court with the Maize Rage and get those necessary Big Ten home wins.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Purdue inside the Big Ten at number 7. Michigan has a tough stretch near the start of their Big Ten conference schedule. They've got number 7 Purdue, then number 11 Illinois, and then play Maryland, who's sitting at number 21 currently. Before all those, they play Michigan State, who you mentioned, Abe, is sitting just outside the top 25. So the Big Ten is just as competitive as it has been in recent history.
Yeah, you got some returning stars. You got Zach Edey for Purdue, Kofi Coburn for Illinois. It's going to be maybe the year of the big man in the Big Ten. You got Hunter Dickinson, who tested out the NBA waters in the offseason, electing to end up coming back, presumably his last year here at Michigan, but you never know.
Inbounds to Segu. His play resumes. 20 seconds left in the shot clock. Driving hard with his left hand. Jonathan Williams, nice floater outside the paint. 46-27. 3:30 left to play here in the first half. Eli Brooks driving baseline, now cuts back to his right. Pass outside for Williams, the second. Handoff, Kofi Buffkin. Kobe passes over to Eli Brooks. He'll get another ball screen from Dickinson. Driving hard baseline, kick out. Swung around the horn. Buffkin looking inside, Johns Jr. Showed a shot, kick outside. Williams for 3 again. No good. And miscommunication between the Bulls. Maceo Jack tried to tip it to his teammate Fagan, and he just lost control. Michigan going to catch a break there. They've got 20 seconds left in the shot clock, and they've got a second chance. Going to be Buffkin to inbound. Right across the court from the Buffalo bench. Maceo Jack guarding the inbounder. Pass goes in cleanly to Eli Brooks. He'll pass it away and get a dribble handoff back. Dickinson, double team, kick outside. Kobe Buffkin, his first shot of the day. That one too long, a three-pointer.
Yeah, no good from Buffkin, but that's great court vision by Hunter Dickinson. Senses the double, looks out. It's the right decision from the big man there.
Williams shows his shot, now pulls up a 3 in the face of Terrence Williams, the second. That one can't find the bottom. Johns Jr. reels it in.
Yeah, just a dismal start from 3 for Buffalo. Now drops to 1 for 13, 7% from the field.
Johns Jr. pulls up a 3 after he can't find any options. Buffalo going coast to coast. Segu can't get it to fall. Following him and getting the tip in is Skogman. '20 or 46-29. The Bulls quietly closing the gap with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to play here in the first half. Moussa Diabate heads to the check-in table for the first time in a while. Driving hard, left hand. Terrence Williams spinning back to his right, fighting through contact. And layup won't go, but he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, it's the second very positive, aggressive drive from Terrence Williams. Both times gets himself fouled. Both times with that spin move to the basket. Didn't get too much run last year, but the sophomore looks like he's going to get some extended playing time this season, and it's going to be important on the offensive end for the Wolverines.
The Maize and Blue faithful fall quiet as Williams second puts up his first free throw. That one good. The lead extends 47-29. Johns Jr. will head to the bench, and Moussa Diabate will check in. (47-29), a comfortable lead for the Wolverines here. Second free throw from Williams, the second off the back iron. Dickinson tips it back out to him. Pass inside. Dickinson up with the left hand, and he's got an easy layup.
Just the big man imposing his will on the boards there, getting himself the offensive board and the 2 points.
The lead back up to 20 for Michigan, 49-29. Skogman showed a shot on the outside, now driving hard. Diabate right there on the defense, but nice finish right around it by Skogman.
Yeah, good help from Diabate, but better offense from Skogman there over the lanky defender from Michigan.
Coach Howard giving a few play calls from the bench over there. Eli Brooks driving with the right hand. Kick outside for Williams the second. Looked for Dickinson for a moment, but then swung it back up top. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Brooks looked inside. Bounce pass a little too wide. Michigan turns it over for the first time in a little bit.
A little stagnant there for Michigan. Not too much work off the ball. Just a little two-man game from Eli Brooks and Hunter Dickinson that ends with the errant pass.
49-31 is the score here. Just over a minute left to play here in half number one. Williams drives, kicks outside. Maceo Jack getting all the way to the rack, and he leaves his layup short. Kobe Buffkin on the defense. He hits the ground.
Great recovery from Buffkin there. Does get a little behind the offensive player, but ends up recovering. Great contest.
Pass opposite corner. Diabate showed a shot. Driving middle. And one! Diabate with a chance for a three-point play here.
Yeah, I love Diabate's aggressiveness so far. He's going to the line for his fourth free throw of the night, showing that he's not scared of the bright lights here in his first game as a Michigan Wolverine. Only 1 for 3 from the line tonight, but there's always room for improvement.
David Skogman caught him on the body. That's his second personal of the day. Free throw from Diabate is too short, bounces off the front of the rim. Under a minute left to play here. Michigan still with their 20-point lead, 51-31. Segu has an isolation on Hunter Dickinson. Decides not to take it. Kicks back out. Segu now driving to the basket. Getting all the way there. Kick out. Wide open three. And finally finding the bottom of the net from beyond the arc is number 11, Williams. Just the second three of the night for the Bulls. Coach Howard's going to call timeout. 24.1 seconds left. 1 second separating the shot and game clock. So the Wolverines will most likely just hold for one at the end of the half.
Yeah, Michigan dominating the offensive boards with 12 second chance points here. Also doing pretty well in the paint, 20 points. And most importantly, in my opinion, 16 bench points for the Wolverines, led by Diabate with 5 and Terrence Williams with 6.
Adrian Nunez also there in the mix with 5 of his own on 2 free throws and a free ball from downtown. Dickinson, the leading scorer for the Wolverines at 10 points. Caleb Houston, the leading rebounder with 4. Diabate leading the way on the assist column with 3. The other side for the University of Buffalo Bulls, it's been the Jonathan Williams show. 10 points, 3 rebounds, leader in both of those categories. Inbounds pass from Buffkin goes cleanly into Eli Brooks. Segu providing ball pressure. About half a second separating the shot clock and game clock. Brooks gets a ball screen, taking his time. Pass all the way to the corner, try to get all the way across, tipped out of bounds by Fagan. 6.6 on the game clock. Just ticked over to 5 seconds on the shot clock, so Michigan will have to get one away. Brooks inbounding from the right side. Gets it up to Buffkin. Driving to his right hand. Kick over to Brooks. Brooks puts up an errant 3 air ball, and that one's going to go the other way. It looks like it went off the left arm of Hunter Dickinson, so the Bulls will have 1.6 seconds to potentially try and get a shot off here.
Yeah, it looks like they called a foul there on Hunter Dickinson off the ball, so it's a tough break for Michigan, giving them 2 free throws to end the half here. But other than that ticky-tack foul at the end of the first half, overall, about as much as you can ask for from the Wolverines, taking a double-digit lead into halftime.
51-34. As Skogman's first free throw is up and good, make it 51-35. .6 seconds left in the clock. Michigan might have enough time to get an inbounds pass and get a full court prayer up. Skogman hits down the second. 51-36. Eli Brooks gets the inbounds pass, puts up a half-court shot, and that one off the shot clock way high. We're going to head into the locker rooms, but Michigan got business done in the first half. 51-36 as the teams head in for a much-needed rest. And the story of the game so far for Michigan has been their bench players. Looking down the stat sheet, leading the way in the scoring column as expected is Hunter Dickinson, but then going down the list, Adrian Nunez has 5 points off the bench. Terrence Williams, the second, has 6 points off the bench. Moussa Diabate has 5 points off the bench. The Wolverines getting it done.
Yeah, and also getting it done on the defensive end for the Wolverines, forcing Buffalo to shoot under 35% from the field, and tough looks from 3 as well, only making 2 in the first half. So a pretty complete effort by the Wolverines in this first half of the season.
Yeah, the Bulls shooting just 14% from downtown, just couldn't seem to get things going from beyond the arc. But with that, that's going to take us into halftime, and we're going to take a quick break. We would like to thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball here on YouTube. My name has been Charlie Brigham, alongside me, Abe Weiner, for the second half. We're going to pass it off. Kendall Spencer is going to be taking over on play-by-play, and Amer Bektas will take over as the color commentator. We will see you back here in about 12 minutes.
Oh, I'm Amer Bektas. Welcome into Crisler Arena, where the Michigan Wolverines are up 51-36 over the Buffalo Bulls. Kendall, we were sitting on the sidelines for the first half. Kind of what did you see from this Michigan Wolverines team out there?
Getting balls in by the net, not afraid to kind of push Buffalo around there. And they had some really good defensive plays, especially a couple really solid blocks by Diabate.
Yeah, Musa Diabate and Caleb Houston looking really good for the Michigan Wolverines right now. Those 2 5-star recruits coming into this season, and we saw Juwan Howard. He went with a typical normal starting 5, but going to the bench early, letting a lot of people play that we probably won't see as much down the stretch, but Michigan really comfortable against a good Buffalo team, which is projected to win the MAC this year.
No, even when they had a couple starters out, they were still playing pretty lights out against Buffalo. It's going to be exciting second half.
You got to love the confidence from everybody, really. I mean, the one that I saw was early in the first half, probably about 5 minutes in. Caleb Houston with the and one just stares down his defender. You got to love that from the freshman out there, just showing the confidence coming into Crisler. It's fantastic to have fans back in here. We got a packed Maize Rage student section. And I mean, over to our right where we usually are, it's all Maize Rage students right now. So we're in for a good second half. Michigan with a comfortable lead. Let's see what the Wolverines have, and can the Bulls get back into this one?
Going to be inbounded by Johns Jr. Devontae Jones waiting in the backcourt to receive that. He'll take it out to the right side. Sigu guarding him. And there's an issue.
It's the first game of the season. The bench down there, they're not ready with the clock management, but the referees are on top of it. Going to get that settled and taken care of.
Going to be inbounded by Johns Jr. again. Mbala guarding him. Some communication errors going on there. Trying to figure that out. Okay, now Johns Jr. is going to inbound it. Back to Devontae Jones at the top. The court, going to take it around the right side, take it all the way to the net himself, pushing past Sigu, puts it up. That's good for 2. 53-36 is our score here to start the second half.
Devontae Jones transferring in to this Michigan Wolverines team, taking over for Mike Smith last year, who was also a transfer, but a really good point guard for the Wolverines.
Williams is going to take it, float it up, and that's good. 53-38. Yes, Devontae Jones transfer from the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
Yeah, Williams up to 17 points now for the Buffalo Bulls. Getting it done on the offensive side for them.
Jones going to give it. Johns Jr. going to bring it in. He's going to be blocked by Bertram. Brought up the court by Jack. Put up. Going to be a little fight for it, but Buffalo's going to maintain possession. Up at the top is Sigu again, being guarded by Houston. Segu's going to take it himself from the. He's going to put up, and it's good. 53-40.
So Caleb Houston right there, the way he was playing defense, he can't be as aggressive as he usually would be because he already has 2 fouls. And, I mean, we saw Juwan Howard take him out early in that first half because he does not want the freshman to get into foul trouble.
They definitely had a lot of fouls in that first half. Put him in the bonus really quickly as Dickinson's going to take it from the top of the free-throw line. Point line, my mistake. Jones going to take it from the free-throw line. He's fouled as he tries to float one up there. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson on the pick and roll right there. Sets the pick for Devontae Jones. Devontae Jones driving into the paint. Really, you couldn't tell, was he trying to float it in or give Hunter Dickinson that alley-oop, but draws the foul, and he's going to go through the free throw line.
Something we've already seen from Jones that was a really big, asset in him coming to Michigan is his potential for steals. We've already seen him at a couple big ones in that first half as he makes the first free throw, making the score 54-40. Take the second. Only person in for the rebound is Johns Jr. And the second free throw is good too. 55-40. He'll be brought up by Sigu. Pass it in Mbala. He's immediately double teamed by Jones and Dickinson. And they're going to call that on Dickinson. he does not like the call.
I think I'll have to agree with the fans right here. You know, the referees, they're calling just about everything. They're not letting too much contact go on between these two teams. I mean, as long as they're calling it both ways, the teams can't complain, but they're being really strict and not letting too much physical play go on the court.
Segu take it to the right side of the court, to left over to Jack. He'll drive in. Segu with a long three-pointer, and it's good. 55-43.
Well, that's one way to get back into this game, is being able to get hot behind the arc, and the Buffalo Bulls were able to come into the second half as Michigan's going to call a timeout right there, and they cut it down, or they cut Michigan's lead down to 12. So coming out of halftime right there, only 2 minutes into this quarter, and Juwan Howard already calling the timeout. And I mean, as I mentioned earlier, these Buffalo Bulls from the MAC, they're projected to win the MAC this year, so they are a good team. In the rankings, they're like, in Division I, they're ranked in the top 100, so they're not, you know, one of those opponents that Michigan can take lightly, and we can see it right here, right now, is if you give them space and time, the Bulls, they're able to shoot behind the arc, and they'll get back into this one quickly. So Juwan Howard taking that timeout to get his young team on the same page.
Well, in the first half, Buffalo had a lot of wide open threes. They just weren't making them.
Yeah.
Michigan's getting lucky in that aspect. Now that they're making them, they're going to have to put a little more effort in getting those two shooters, specifically Mbala and Williams, both first-team preseason All-MAC. They are the two stars on this Buffalo team, and you can tell just based on this game. Williams averaged 17.6 points per game last season, Mbala with 15.3. Segu seems to be for Buffalo the team that everything, for the player for Buffalo where everything flows through, but those two are the scoring threats.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see what type of identity Michigan wants to establish. You know, we all know about Hunter Dickinson, 7'1", sophomore down there, able to be that big post presence, but how Juwan Howard integrates the freshmen, specifically Moussa Diabate, who has really flown under the radar. And from what I hear is, like, he's going to be a big piece of this team along with Caleb Houston. Those two freshmen are going to be very important in the rotation for the Wolverines. And then you have the senior leadership of, like, Eli Brooks and the transfer Devontae Jones. And, you know, it's a well-rounded team all around for Michigan. You know, when you have a young, experienced team and you can look to your seniors like Eli Brooks and Devontae Jones. And, I mean, Adrian Nunez was in there earlier, too. He can shoot it behind the arc. But Brandon Johns Jr., also that senior. You know, it's a well-rounded team, but they gotta mesh it together.
Yeah, this is definitely the game for, you know, Howard to kind of be figuring out where he can slot those freshmen in, specifically Diabate in place of Hunter Dickinson, and then Caleb Houston, who's going to be on the court again. But yeah, Buffalo slowly inching their way back into this one, 55-43, 18 minutes left here in the game. Fouls at one apiece for Buffalo and Michigan. If you missed the first half, bit foul happy on both sides. Buffalo was in the bonus pretty early on. Michigan joined them there not very far after. And from what we've seen so far in the 2 minutes that we have for you, it seems like it's going to be pretty much the same thing here. Yeah,
Michigan, Juwan Howard electing to go with his original 5 starters with Houston, Jones, Brooks, Dickinson, and Johns Jr.
Houston tries to pass it out to Jones, intercepted by Segu, but it's coming back for Buffalo even before that.
Yeah, Houston called on the traveling right there.
Jack is going to inbound it to Segu. We'll take it up. It's going out to the right side. Bring it back around to the left. Looking for a pass. Williams is open on the right. We've got Jones and Johns Jr. on him. Back up to Segu. In for Mbala. He'll put it up, and it's good.
The Bulls able now to cut it down to 10 for the first time since really the beginning of this game.
Jones will take it around the right side. And another travel.
Not the best start for the Wolverines right now. Not able to score buckets, and then also getting those, you know, those turnovers right there, those unforced turnovers, as we see Adrian Nunez checking in for the Wolverines right there to try to switch it up right there.
Yeah, Devontae Jones will come out. Segu, we bring it back up again for the Wolverine. Not for Buffalo, my mistake. Looking for an open man. Bring it around to the right side. Pass up to Mbala, and Mbala will take it out to the corner for Williams. Williams drives in, lets Johns Jr. miss, and it's swatted away by Dickinson. But recovered by Buffalo. Mbala up. Segu fakes the three from the free throw, and it's good. 55-47, lead under 10 for the first time since the first half. Houston's gonna pass it around to Brooks. Brooks will take it himself. Almost shoots into Dickinson. Over to Johns Jr. and there's a aggressive foul. He looks hurt. He's a bit slow to get up. That foul's gonna be on number 33, Maceo Jack, senior for Buffalo. Johns Jr. clearly a bit shaken up, but stays in.
Yeah, Johns Jr. taking basically 2 blows right there initially when he was going up, and then a player comes across and just swipes him on the way down.
Up to Nunez. Houston into Dickinson. Hook be fouled on that by number 41, Bertram.
Buffalo right now on a 7-0 run against Michigan. Michigan really struggling to get anything to go in the second half to start out.
It's going to be timeout here.
Double technical fouls have been issued. Buffalo's number 10, Ronaldo Sekou, his second personal. Team's fourth. Michigan's 23, Brandon Johns Jr.
It's going to be fouls.
Team's third.
And Sekou for Buffalo, and Johns Jr. for Michigan.
Yeah, the referees already issued double technicals early in that first half against it was Nunez and another Buffalo player right there. You know, just the two going back and forth. So referees, like I mentioned, not having anything.
Dickinson will shoot. First one, bounce off the back of the rim and out.
This is Dickinson's second trip to the free throw line, and now he's 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but he has 12 points, 6 for 8 from the field.
Second one is good. This Wolverines up 56-47. Sekou takes it back up. Guarded pretty heavily by Brooks, and be picked by Bertram out to Jack. Teases it, but he's not gonna. Ooh, drives past Nunez. No shot, but there is a foul. They're gonna call that on Nunez. That's his second personal foul. Terrence Williams the second is in for the Wolverines.
So sophomore guard for the Wolverines checking back into this game. He could be one of those like crucial like 6th or 7th man players off the bench for the Wolverines. You know, give him that little burst of energy right there. He plays really good defense.
Far three from Williams, bounces off the front of the rim, no good, but it's recovered by Buffalo. Sekou, out to number 33, Jack, no good, recovered by Buffalo, put it back up, no good again. Houston brings it down, pass it over to Brooks, take it up. He's gonna take it from the top of the key, but no good. Williams will bring it back up. Ooh, almost makes Houston miss, puts it up.
Yeah, Juwan Howard not really happy with that one, calling for the carry right there, but the referees let it play, and Buffalo cuts it down to 7 now.
56-49, as Brooks will take it around to the right side. Sekou on him, looks for an open man, up to Houston. Houston hold it back out to Brooks. Brooks taking him further to the corner. In for Johns Jr. Passes over to head to Dickinson. Puts up over. Alley-oop to Williams the second. And he capitalizes.
Wolverines were able to get it down low on the block to Dickinson, and then he got triple covered right there and just flicks it up to Terrence Williams the second, and Williams lays it in for the bucket.
Segu pass it out to the right corner. Up for Jack, and there's no shot. Looking for a foul, but there's not going to be called one. Up to Segu, back around to Williams. He'll drive it in, back up to Mbala, and they're going to call travel on Mbala. Michigan gets the ball back with a quick timeout. What do you think the Wolverines need to do in order to get the momentum back here?
So, I mean, right now we're at immediate timeout. We're about 5 minutes into the second half. Obviously, Buffalo has shown they're willing to go toe-to-toe with the Wolverines. And, you know, it seems like the Wolverines coming out of the locker room felt like they had this one in the bag. But you still got 20 minutes to play. Everything is played on the court. And, I mean, they're only up by 9 right now. So this feels like a turning point in this game. I know it's still early in the second half, but if Buffalo is able to keep shooting behind the arc like they have been, behind people like Segu and Williams. Williams now up to 19 points, Segu with 14. Those two get going, Wolverines could be in a little bit of trouble right there. So seeing right here if they can, first, since Wolverines are going to have the ball coming out of the timeout, first you got to get points. You got to get done on the offensive side, and then you got to play defense. So the Wolverines, that's what they got to do. Seems simple, but really struggling right now to do it.
I agree. The Wolverines were dominant in that first half. Part of that was due to Buffalo's own internal errors. A lot of their threes just not falling. But it seemed like they were scoring pretty quickly. They had all of that covered. Not really going as well for them here in the second so far. But that's also due to Buffalo kind of stepping up their defense a little bit. Buffalo clearly came out of the locker room on a mission with a bit more drive in them, at least through the first 5 minutes of this. So again, if you're just joining us, it's 58-49. Wolverines over Buffalo. It's about 15 minutes remaining in the game. First game of the season. Before the game, we had the Big Ten champions banner being raised to the rafters. Very exciting. And the ring presentation, which was very exciting. And now during the game, we have some band in the background that you can hear.
You know, this was the biggest part that, as broadcasters, we missed last year. Having the band in Crisler, a packed Maize Rage down there, just the energy that they bring into here. And, you know, home court advantage this year. Michigan Wolverines are going to have their hands full with all the Big Ten opponents that are going to be coming in here. You know, starting out with Big Ten play starts in December. But when they bring in Minnesota, and then early on in the season, they're going to have Michigan State coming out of winter break early on in January. But the weird thing is that they're going to play Michigan State at the end of January as well. So Michigan State is going to be done in January. So how Michigan plays in January could be, for both teams really, could be different and come around March when you want to be playing your best basketball. So figuring out how you want your starting five right now, who's going to be coming off the bench, all that stuff, who works good with each other. That's what these games like a Buffalo game is going to be like for the Wolverines. And, you know, Buffalo's a good opponent, so the Wolverines are going to get a good test tonight.
Wolverines will take it. Brooks specifically come out to the left side. Bit of movement. Dickinson with a pick. Up to Dickinson. He'll put it up for two. 60-49. Michigan regains that 10-point lead. 11-point lead, to be more specific.
Just throw it up anywhere around the rim, and the 7'1" center is going to get it. Whether it's going to be a dunker or just a tap, Dickinson will go up there and get it.
Segu's going to take it himself around into Mbala. Mbala slams it down. He was wide open, 60-51, just like that.
So the Bulls that were able to draw Dickinson away from his post, opening up that lane for the slam dunk right there. So credit to the Bulls right there.
It's going to be Eli Brooks, 62-51. Segu around to Mbala. Mbala fakes the three, step back out and shoot it. Bounce off the back of the rim. There's a foul on Bertram on the rebound. He doesn't seem to agree with it. But can't really be surprised. They've been calling basically everything so far this game. on both teams. It's not one-sided either way.
Yeah, Brock Bertram, the 6'1" center, 244, having to go up against Dickinson, 7'1", 260. So Dickinson obviously better in the height category right there, stronger. So just a really tough matchup right down there for the grad student on the Bulls. Don't really know what they're trying to review right here. It looks like Dickinson was being held right there.
I think they're gonna, yeah, I think it's just that foul review, but I don't know why you want to really use it on this one, considering that, yeah, there's definitely a hold on Dickinson there. Bertram's got his arm basically looped through Dickinson's. As we're gonna take some time to review that. Both teams gonna take advantage of this. So mini timeout. Are we getting our decision? Just more talking. Yep.
The personal foul charged at Buffalo's number 41. Brock Bertram has been upgraded to a flagrant one for a
Flagrant one. That is what the review was for. Was for a flagrant one on Bertram.
There's an unnecessary foul right there. Dickinson established himself down low on the post and just gets hooked as Brock was going down, and referees elect to give him the flagrant one. So, like, the referees, they've been pretty strict. They're not letting much physical play go on, so not surprised right there by them calling a flagrant run on that play.
And that'll take Bertram out for right now. Instead, bringing in number 42, David Skagman. Dickinson with his 2 free throws. First one, good. 63-51 is our score. 13:40 remaining as he puts up the second one. Money as well. 64-51.
Successful third trip to the free throw line for Dickinson. Now he is 3 for 5 from the line.
As they're going to have Diabate pass that in to Brooks. We'll give it to Williams Jr. Back down to Brooks. He's going to go all the way around, back out to Williams Jr., around to Diabate, into Dickinson. He'll put moves on Skagman, floated over his left shoulder, no good. Recovered by Buffalo. Foul is going to be on Diabate.
So going back to that play right there where Dickinson got the ball on the block, he wanted to go to work. And, you know, he tested the NBA waters this offseason. And, you know, Dickinson, to be successful in the NBA, you got to be able to establish a good post presence, being able to get that hook shot to go.
Not him so far in this game, being tested somewhat by Buffalo's centers as Williams will put one up. All the way at the rim, they're going to say that it's out on Michigan.
I think we might have had the best view up here, and it looked like that ball should go to Michigan rather than it was off Buffalo. But nonetheless, it's going to stay with the Bulls.
Dickinson getting tested just a little bit by Skagman. Into Williams. It's going to go right around Williams. Second, out to Skagman. Pass it all the way around. That's going to go up to Jack, and he's going to slam that one down. Wide open paint. Take advantage of that. 64-53.
Really good ball movement right there by Buffalo. Able to swing it around all the way around the perimeter, find what they want, give it to Jack, and Jack cuts into the lane and
Brooks
just
out
slams
to Houston. He'll put it up. Bounces off again, and it's in. Knocked in by Hunter Dickinson. As they'll send one up to Williams, who's going to go in on Houston, put it up for 2. 66-55 here with 12 and a half left.
Bulls doing exactly what they need to do to stay into this game. You know, Michigan goes down there. They get a lucky bounce, get the ball to roll in, but quickly down the court into transition, Bulls get the 2 points, and, you know, they keep it around that 10-point margin.
Out to Diabate. He'll pretend to put it up and still take it in himself. No good on the shot. Recovered by Skagman. Out to Segu. Bringing the ball back up for the Bulls. Over to Williams. Cut in. Out to 24, Fagan. He will almost lose it, but instead Diabate is going to try and recover it. It'll be out on Diabate.
Man, I really wish Musa would have kept that one in just to see him, because there was nobody in front of him, just to see what he would do above the rim. You know, he's got some hops to himself.
In both games so far, he's laid some pretty demonstrative dunks. He's a very exciting player. I really like Diabate. We kind of talked about earlier with Caleb Houston being an exciting freshman. Diabate is exactly the same. He is not afraid to show his personality whatsoever. Said one dunk earlier, that was, got up there screaming. Same on a block that he had. He's going to be a really good player for the Wolverines.
It's the Juwan Howard difference coming to Michigan, able to recruit, those top 50, top 20 type of recruits, getting those 5-star recruits to come to Ann Arbor and establish Michigan as a perennial threat in the Big Ten. John Beilein created the foundation here, and now Juwan Howard is just building off that. And you got to love what Michigan basketball is and Michigan athletics in general. What school out there has their football and basketball team? Let's see if we can catch that shirt. Almost. Has their basketball team and their football team in the top 10, but you also can't forget about hockey. So you got 3 of the best sports and most popular sports out there in the top 10 in the country. It's a fun time to be a Michigan Wolverine fan.
I don't think that T-shirt cannon could get up here, but if it could.
I don't know, when one of the cheerleaders threw it up here, it looked like it was coming around here and just bounced up.
About 2 feet away from getting the shirt. Maybe next time.
So not too much going on in the college basketball landscape. It looks like the Wolverines are the only team playing right now. But looking at, some scores from yesterday, you had in the Champions Classic, Duke and Kentucky play a fantastic game. Kentucky and Coach K's last year winning 79-71. Michigan State falling to Kansas yesterday, 87-74. But whenever you go up against a Tom Izzo team, Tom Izzo, regardless of what happens in the beginning of the season or halfway through, he's going to get those Spartans to buy into what he wants to build. And, they're always going to be a tough out. And you can also look at Purdue, the Boilermakers, in the top 10 this year. They won their game 96-67.
There'll be a bit more time on the media timeout. You always forget how long these are until you're like trying to talk through them. And then you're like, wow, these are 7 years. But if you're just joining us, got the Wolverines playing the Buffalo Bulls here in Crisler, 66-55, Wolverines up top, 11:45 remaining in the game. And I think we're finally free from the media timeout.
Almost, I think.
Maybe almost.
One more whistle, or horn. There it is.
There we go. Now I can stop just talking about T-shirt cannons and actually talk about basketball again.
We can talk about the CFP and how Michigan leapfrogged over Michigan State 1 week after Michigan lost in East Lansing.
It's going to go into Seguin. Brooks on him. Williams Jr. coming up to take that. Picked up by Skagman. Out to Williams. Back up to Seguin. He'll take the long 3. Bounce off the front of the rim. No good. Covered by Diabate. He'll pass it out to Dickinson. Give it over to Brooks. As those two head back. Brooks going to deliberate with it for a second. Guarded by Jack, which is a last name, I promise. Into Houston. Give it up, and he tries to send it over to Diabate, but it's going to go out of bounds. And they're going to...
I can verify, number 33, Marcelo Jack.
Yeah, we are not close friends. I promise you that is a last name, and I'm not just referring to this guy by his first name only.
You guys didn't go to school together in Missouri or something
like
that?
No, did not go to... Not from St. Louis. Brooks going to put it up from the free throw line. No good. Skagman recovers, sends it out to my good buddy Jack.
who's from New York.
Over to Segu. I've been to New York. Segu going to keep it. Nope, back over to Jack. Back to Williams. Williams put up the 3. Money. He has a clean shot, gonna be completely honest with you. 66-58 is our score. Buffalo pulls back within 10.
Williams now up to 24 points, 2 for 5 behind the arc.
Brooks down on the left side. Up to Diabate. Top of the 3-pointer into Dickinson. Dickinson gonna go just right around Skagman.
It's just too easy for him down there. A mismatch down low. Hunter Dickinson, 7'1", 260. It's just not fair.
Skagman's not a small dude. He is 6'10", but 230. Dickinson makes up for that in that regard. Brooks gonna take it himself. Up to Diabate, wide open, top of the 3. Bounces off. As Jack's gonna take it. Houston knocks it away.
Great
Impressive
defensive
play by Houston there. As Williams recovers it, takes a big jump and in. 68-60 is our score.
This feels like a March Madness game. I don't know why.
This is very intense.
It just
for
feels
like a first game. Some action going on.
It is Wednesday. Maction, baby, Maction.
Dickinson has it at the top of the 3. Over to Brooks. Brooks gonna shoot back into Dickinson. Left hand float it in and out. No good. Diabate recovers, but they're gonna call a jump. Had it not, Diabate would have put it in for 2. And the Maize Rage and Crisler has a couple probably not so nice words to say.
The rim's just not being very fair to the Wolverines right now, not getting that friendly bounce right there. I mean, you saw Dickinson right there with the spin move, floats it in, bounces off the rim, and bounces out, you know.
Johns Jr. and Jones are in for Dickinson. And Brooks, Jack back out to Williams. Williams going to try and take it himself. That's going to go in for 2. 68-62 is our score, within 6 for the Bulls.
Yeah, the closest they've been since the beginning of this game.
Jones has it now. Gonna try and go around Segu. Pass it out to Johns Jr. Johns Jr. will try and break in, but there's nothing there for him. Into Williams. He's going to push on Jack, put it up for 2, and that sinks in.
Beautiful, beautiful play right there by Terrence Williams on the elbow, falling away. That's probably one of the most toughest shots to get to sink.
Segu going to consider taking, Skagman for the 3, no good. Bounces off the front side of the rim. Jones takes it up, into Houston. He's going to go all the way up for it and can't lay it in. And it's going to be bounced around for a bit, but Diabate recovers it. He's going to hand it over to Houston, back up to Jones at the top left of the M. Segu trying to catch his breath. I feel like he has been in this entire game. Jones going to put up from the free throw. Just bounces out. Diabate saves it from going out, but unfortunately saves it right to Segu, who's going to slow it down. Jones on him. Toss it around Fagan. And they're going to call a foul. And we're going to have another media timeout, which is our favorite part of this game. And there's no t-shirt cannon to talk about this time. Michigan, despite the fact the score is now closer, 70-62 is our current score, looks like they were recovering some of their momentum there. Buffalo keeping it close, definitely playing hard. Segu and Williams, who I think have been in for this entire game, are probably real thankful for this media timeout. Unfortunately, I am not. We could talk about football. I mean, we have the time.
We might have to get in on this QR code thing.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh,
no, it's still up there. No, it's still like up there.
Oh.
Sorry, we are scanning a QR code for pizza.
This is the college life. A free slice of Joe's Pizza. Can't get any better.
I don't want to get an app. It makes you download an app.
Just download the app. Get the slice of pizza, then delete it off your phone.
I'm so bad at deleting apps, though.
But we needed to get the code, and we couldn't get it.
No, we missed that. I know this is exhilarating for everyone listening at home.
But we'll take a look at the Michigan basketball upcoming opponents. So they'll hit the road this weekend, take on Prairie View A&M before returning home next week Tuesday against Seton Hall, and that should be a fantastic matchup. You know, Wolverines really got those good opponents coming in. I mean, starting out tonight with Buffalo, and then they'll hit the road to go to Las Vegas for a tournament where they will first go up against UNLV, and then if they're able to win that, they'll play in the championship game against the winner of Arizona and Wichita State. But the one game that most people are circling on the calendar is a trip to North Carolina. That's going to be a fantastic game. You know, it's going to be a tough one. You got two blue blood programs going up against each other. And, you know, potentially, we'll see. We could have some WCBN people there.
It's also, fun fact, all of my family lives in North Carolina.
Oh, perfect. So we don't even have to get a hotel. We can just crash somewhere.
I hope my aunt's listening. I hope you're excited for that.
Pass along our information just to make sure.
Will do. Yeah, so I've a lot of UNC fans in my family. Hopefully they aren't upset that I will not be rooting for them. And this media timeout is going to put us out of our misery as we finally get to return to basketball instead of our saga of not getting free pizza.
I'm very disappointed about that. We
Me
just
too.
missed it.
Especially because, like, I checked my bank account today, and it was kind of sad. Dad, ignore that. I didn't say that. I have plenty of money. I haven't spent it all. Anyway, Jones has the ball.
Back to basketball we
and
go.
He's going to bring it up. Going to go around the right side into Dickinson. He's going to go all the way over a man.
Yep.
To put that in. But then there's a fight, or Dickinson fell. There's one of the two. But he went all the way over Williams on that. Kind of folded him. But they're going to call a charge and more things.
Technicals being handed out like candy right now. Wasn't it Halloween a couple of weeks ago?
Maybe the refs missed it.
Definitely was a charge.
But there's going to be some more probably for Dickinson. I don't know if he fell or if he was pushed. There was a little bit of a scuffle that went on as we're going to get some more time off because I think they really enjoy our conversations. I'd like to apologize for everyone who can hear my cough in the background. That's very pressing. I really want to say I'm sorry.
So the referees are going to go to the monitor to review this one. You know, from what we saw from up here while it was live, Dickinson going in, Williams set perfectly. He was not in the cylinder. He was set perfectly. Just a textbook play to take the charge. And if you're going to go in to take a charge from Dickinson, you're going to pay for it. They get the charge, but then Dickinson was like on top of him, and from up here, it looked like he was I don't know, like they were gonna fight.
There was something after. I don't know if that was Dickinson tripping, if he was pushed, if he was shoved.
I think he might have been trying to get up, and somebody pushed him and fell to the side. So, because the referees, it looks like they were also handing out some technical fouls right there. I mean, that'll be the third time they've handed out some technicals in this game.
Thought maybe we're gonna see a fight, but this is not hockey.
This is not hockey.
Some more discussion going on. Really need to talk about this one, I guess, because they haven't given out so many fouls already.
And this could be a really pivotal call, what they decide to call on this one.
The Michigan's number 1, Hunter Dickinson. It's his third personal, team 6.
It's going to be a foul on Dickinson and Mbala. That's his fourth.
Team 6. Michigan technical fouls to number 5, Terrence Williams II, his second personal foul.
And another foul on Williams II.
Buffalo is now in the bonus.
So Buffalo's in the bonus.
So I guess Halloween candy was still on clearance since they're handing out these fouls like it's candy. But the Maize Rays are coming to life, being that sixth man for these Wolverines who need some energy out on the court right now.
Williams nowhere going. Gonna pass it around. It's going to be put up by Bruton, and it's going to be good. 70-65 is our score.
They're just chopping away at this one. Now they cut it down to 5. You know, they get close. Michigan comes back, they score, and Buffalo comes right back down. Now they're to 5, within 5 points.
The blowout that kind of looked like we could possibly have at the beginning of the first half. Now I just need to win. They're going to call that on Sugu.
Buffalo foul number 42. It's Goodwin. His third personal foul. Team 7. Wolverines are in the bonus.
And the Wolverines are going to be in the bonus now. In case you were just really concerned that this wasn't a foul-happy game. That just proves it for you. Dickinson's going to shoot 2. First one. Oh, never mind. Just 1. 1 and 1. I forgot how basketball works. My apologies. Sugu dribble around with it, puts it up, bounce off the back of the rim, recovered by Williams. The second, he'll bring it up for the Wolverines. Hand it off to Jones, the top of the three-pointer, out to Brooks, back up to Jones. Take a moment. Dickinson's gonna try and set something up, knocked out of bounds by Mbala. He'll stay Michigan's ball. Be inbounded by Williams the second. Into Jones, covered by Sugu at the top of the three-point line. Into Brooks, and it's good from the free throw line. 72-65, 6 minutes remaining here. Sugu trying to pass it in to Mbala, and there will be a foul. Surprising. That's going to be on Terrence Williams the second. How many fouls are we getting to?
We are already in the 1 and 1. Both teams in the bonus now, and we still got 6 minutes of basketball left to play.
Mbala will take the shot. And it's good. 72-66, back within 6.
So Buffalo Bulls are doing. I keep wanting to say Bills. The Buffalo.
Wrong sport.
The Buffalo Bulls. It's because Charlie Brigham was here.
It
He's
is
from
because of
Buffalo.
Charlie Brigham.
They're not going away from this one. They just need to get a couple of breaks on the defensive side as they get their second free throw to fall, and they're now still within 5 points.
Jones will try and go through Bruton into Dickinson. Skagman on him. Can't break him this time. Back around to Jones. He'll push in on Bruton. And they're going to call that on Bruton. Yeah, you guessed it, folks. Another foul. And Bruton's going to come out for my good buddy Jack. Which, once again, is a last name. I completely promise you.
So Jones.
I don't know why I'm saying that. Like, I don't have 2 first names, but, like, it's fine.
So Devontae Jones is going to go to the line. This is going to be his second trip. Previous trip, he was 2 for 2, so.
Could be some really crucial points for the Wolverines here.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna bounce out.
The rims are just not in the favor for the Wolverines right there.
Covered by Mbala. Give it back to Sugu. Give it over to Williams. Mbala's gonna set a pick on Williams Jr. Mbala's gonna put him up himself. Dickinson came in to swat it away, but I think it was just a bad shot. Williams Jr. is gonna put it up over Skagman, and it's good. Terrence Williams Jr. just absolutely launching one over David Skagman. Put the Wolverines up 75-67.
That was just a clean play right there by Terrence Williams. And it's got to feel good. And, you know, the fans up here felt good for him. And just seeing it go through the net, Michigan now back out on top by 8 points. 5:17 left to play.
Buffalo's taking a timeout right now. Wolverines need to get a stop here, capitalize on that huge shot from Williams Jr. and try and keep their lead, maybe get it back up to into double digits like it had been for the majority of the first half. But Buffalo's really come out kicking here in this second half. And it's not a media timeout, so we can keep our conversations purely basketball related. It's going to be Jack inbounding the ball for Buffalo. Sugu in the receive it. He'll be greeted by Jones when he crosses half court. Hand it over to Mbalo, give it around to Williams, guarded by Brooks. Gonna come in, push out to Mbalo, who's guarded by Williams Jr. They're gonna pass it all the way around. Sugu put it up for three, bounce off the back of the rim, but it's recovered by Mbala. Down low, he's gonna go in on Williams Jr. Try to send it out, but someone tipped that. Sugu keeps it though. Gonna give it around to Jack. He puts it up for three, in and out, no good. That's key for the Wolverines. They need to capitalize here as Brooks brings it back up. Out to Houston. No good. But Dickinson slams the rebound back in. And we're finally back to double digits, 77-67 for the Wolverines. So he'll give it over to Mbala, who's fouled as he tries to put it up. He'll shoot.
Going back to that slam dunk right there by Hunter Dickinson, Devontae Jones, just a quick pass to Caleb Houston in the corner. Caleb Houston just too much, airballs it over the top, but you know Dickinson's presence down low, creating all that space, gets the rebound and just goes up for the two-handed slam.
There have been 39 fouls in this game. And we have 40 now. And we have about 4.5 left. Mbala's first free throw is good, as they're going to take Skagman out for Bertram. Mbala, the second one. Put his team back within 7. I mean, not 7. 8 is good. 77-69. Williams Jr. at the top, out to Jones, in Dickinson. He's gonna go right past Bertram. Ooh, almost slammed it in again. There's gonna be a foul though. So he's back at the free throw line. Chance to put the Wolverines back up by 2 again. .41. That's the amount of fouls we're at right now.
So still going to be a 1-and-1 on this play right here because we are not reached 10 fouls yet in this half.
And Bertram's back out for Skagman, and they're going to sub out Jack for Bruton. Dickinson will shoot. It's good. Nothing but net. 78-69. Second one. Only Houston in. And it's good. Back up within 10. Back up by 10. 79-69. And Sugu will bring it up the court once again. Pass over to Williams, who's guarded by Williams Jr. A bit of Williams on Williams Jr. crime. Williams will put it up, but there's a travel. And we have a timeout. They say media timeout.
Yeah, so we're under 4 minutes now. Media timeout. Michigan up by 10. But, you know, credit to the Bulls. They're doing what needs to be done, getting it done on both ends of the court. But Michigan, they are just a little bit better right now, getting those small plays to go.
It's been a Well, if you can't tell by the sheer amount of fouls, it's been a pretty physical game so far. Michigan getting that momentum back that they had in the first. Once again, they have a lead of 10 right now, which is what they were maintaining pretty much all the way through the first half as we go into this media timeout. I hope you're enjoying the band. Just under 4 remaining, if you're just joining us. It's Michigan Wolverines here in Crisler versus the Buffalo Bulls, not Bills, different sport. If you made that mistake, so have we. Buffalo is 5 for 26 from the 3, which is not ideal. They were making them at the beginning of this half, but kind of lost their shot as the games progressed. No doubt to some pretty intense defense. I apologize for that. There's the first horn to signal to put us out of our misery. Bertram, he said he was subbed out. He actually fouled out for Buffalo. As we get going again with just under 4. I mean, just is very accurate. There's 1 second under 4.
So as Michigan was able to get it up to 10, now the Buffalo needs to get it done on the defensive side of the court and just keep chopping away. You want to get it back down to under 5 with 2 minutes to go.
Brooks will go all the way in, put it in for 2. Exactly opposite of what you said they need to do. Made it look way too easy as Williams will take it back around to Seguin. Guarded by Brooks. Hand over to Bruton, back over to Williams. Bruton will put it up for 3, bounces off, and nope. Williams Jr. guy takes that one, hands it over to Brooks. We'll give it back to Jones. Brooks will take it again. Dickinson comes up, set a pick. Out to Houston, put it up for 3, and it's good.
So clean, so pure by Caleb Houston right there. On the left elbow, lets it fly, and just rips the net right there. Michigan extending their lead now to 15.
That was pivotal for the Wolverines there. Houston made it look way too easy.
So Michigan, they obviously raised the Big Ten championship banner in that first, or before the game. And you know, if the Wolverines want to build on that, go from like an elite team, or go from a good team to like an elite team and just build on what they have. I mean, they're showing it right here. I mean, facing adversity against Buffalo, getting it down close, and you know, when you're able to have players that can shoot behind the arc, do it down low, this team could be special this year.
And what we're also seeing very early, don't want to, you know, call it too early, but Howard's done a really good job managing his lineup through this game, managing his starters, using his bench. Houston, obviously, the freshman coming in and putting up threes at the most pivotal moments. We've seen a couple really big plays from Diabate. A lot of the bench players are really getting it done on the court for the Wolverines, which is very exciting as we go further in the season.
That could also be what hurt the Wolverines right there, is how Juwan Howard went so early to the bench. But, you know, you want to give those bench players more time in this game. And, I mean, now you see he's got basically his starting 5 out there.
Williams has it. Drive in on Williams Jr. off the top right of the glass, and he'll put it in. Williams Jr. inbound for Jones. 84-71. Jones will take it. Segu on him. Is still very energetic. Mbala will take it. Over to Segu. Segu will drive in on Brooks. Segu will try and put it up, bounce off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Michigan. Out to Jones.
So they're switching roles out there right now, where Michigan wasn't able to get that friendly bounce. Buffalo was, and now the Bulls just switching around. But Devontae Jones trying to take as much time off the clock. You got 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Just under 2 minutes remaining here.
Buffalo foul is number 10, Nolan Segu.
That's a foul on Segu.
Team's 10th bonus.
So 10th foul, that's going to be a double bonus right there. How many fouls did we have this game?
Last time I checked, we had over 40. So
Wonder what the over-under was for that one.
for fouls,
For fouls.
I don't know if people bet on that, but if they do, if you took the over today, you knew something we didn't, I guess.
Tell you what, if you told me there was going to be 40 fouls in this game, I would not have believed you.
No,
I would have thought that there would have been a serious brawl out on the court.
42 fouls. Up to Williams Jr. Jones will take it. And slow this down a bit. Dixon will come up, set a pick. Try and pass it back through the legs of a couple Buffalo players to Dickinson, but it'll get knocked out.
Just trying to thread the needle right there to get the final pass to Dickinson, and if they were able to, it's another two-handed slam for the 7'1"
So
sophomore.
will take it all the way to, nope, never mind. Looked like he was going to shoot, but he's going to pass it back out to Williams. Williams sends it back over to him, wide open three. Bounce off, nope. Recovered, and they're going to call foul on Houston.
Yeah, Caleb Houston going up and over to get that rebound right there and just getting called for the foul. You got to love the energy from the freshman right there. And, you know, we can see that he's going to be a huge playmaker for the Wolverines this season.
They're going to have Mbala shoot this one.
Checking into the Bulls, 33, ACO Jack.
85-72 is our score over here with 1.5 minutes remaining.
The band is still going crazy doing their part to get him to miss the free throw. But he's not phased as he sinks the second one.
Williams Jr. is going to inbound it at Jones, who's getting defended pretty heavily, almost blocked away by Skagman on the pass up to Dickinson. But Brooks is able to get it. He's guarded pretty heavily by Jack right now. He's going to keep dribbling as he waits for someone to get open or for Dickinson to come up, set a pick. He's going to try and go around. Jones at the top, into Dickinson, through Skagman. There was no defense on him there as he puts it in for two. 87-73, under a minute remaining here. They're going to call a foul on Jones for guarding.
For playing basketball.
For playing defense, it would appear.
We might break the 50, the half-century mark for fouls.
It's going to be Segu shooting two here. First one, no good. Bounces off the back of the rim. Second one, it's going to circle, but it's going to be good. 87-74 here. 53 seconds remaining. Williams Jr. bringing it up pretty heavily by Mbala and Segu. He's stuck, and they're going to There's a foul on Seguin. That is his 4th personal foul.
Yeah, Terrence Williams picking up his dribble right at that center court line, and he was going back and forth, almost getting the back or over and back call, but Seguin was pulling on his jersey, and Terrence Williams the second is going to go to the free throw line.
45 seconds remaining here. His first one is up, and it's in.
Yeah, this is his 3rd trip to the free throw line. Now he's 3 for 4 from the free throw line, up to 15 points. Getting some serious minutes as well, 29 minutes.
His second one is up. Bounce off the front of the rim. Covered by Mbala. Tossed it over to number 3, Curtis Jones. Trying to put the moves on Frankie Collins, but nothing really going. Passing it out to Williams, guarded pretty heavily by Houston. 30 seconds remaining here. 10 on the shot clock. Out from the top of the three-point. Bounce off the front of the rim. Recovered by Skagman. Send it back up to Bruton. Bruton out to Mbala. Ball in for Williams. He's going to put it up and get fouled, making our score 88-76, as Williams will take it from the free throw line.
So
for the and one.
For all the bettors out there, the spread for this game was 12.5. Right now, Michigan is up by 12.
Williams will be shooting here. That foul is on Brooks. His 2nd foul of the game, like our 43rd, 44th foul of the game if you combine them. As Williams will put it up here momentarily. No good. Rebounded by Williams Jr. Collins gonna slow it down. Very energetic crowd here.
I think everybody knows what the spread was tonight.
3-1, and the Wolverines will win 88-76 over the Buffalo Bulls here in Crisler. Got a little scary there towards the end, towards the middle of the game, but the Wolverines took over, were able to grind it out, get the shots where they needed to, a couple key defensive plays, and they'll hold on to win their home opener 88-76.
Yeah, the Michigan Wolverines, in that first half, they got too comfortable with it. They came out and just dominated from the opening tip, but then came out kind of, cold or not ready for the second half, feeling like this game was already won and secured in the bag. But, credit to Buffalo, the Bulls. They showed why they're the favorites in the MAC this year. Action tonight. Michigan's able to win 88-76 over Buffalo. We saw a lot of good stuff from the freshmen tonight. Musa Diabate for the Wolverines, Caleb Houston, just a lot of people doing good stuff for both teams. Hunter Dickinson led the team with 27 points tonight. He had 6 rebounds, and then you had Caleb Houston, 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Same thing with Terrence Williams, 15 points. That was a quiet 15 is what it felt like. But Michigan, they're gonna be a deep team this year.
Definitely making his presence heard more on the defensive side.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's why Juwan Howard wanted to put him in late. You saw it down the stretch right there. Terrence Williams was in for his defense right there because, the Bulls came out and they were shooting pretty well. Williams had 32 points. Mbala had 13 and Seguin 15. But they just could not get help anywhere else. The next closest player was your best friend Jack with only 5 points. So when you have 3 players scoring in double figures, Michigan's able to quickly figure out which player they need to zone in on and knock them out of the game. And it's kind of what they did down the stretch. But nonetheless, Michigan's able to pull this one out 88-76.
Wolverines' next play versus Prairie View A&M. That is going to be on Saturday. But back here on Tuesday versus Seton Hall. I have been Kendall Spencer.
I'm Amer Bektas.
I'd like to say thank you to all of our fans in the comment section. And also that you can hear us more this week. We have a bunch of games. Wolverines playing a ton of games. Thank you for tuning in here on WCBN Sports. We'll see you next time, and go Blue.